Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday morning on Your View. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. I had to take some tea. You know, it's really, it's a drabby Monday morning this morning, so I needed this coffee. All right?
To wake us up.
Ladies, Valentine weekend! How you doing, ladies?
Good.
We want to start with you. Because you are the newest kid on the block. So Valentine is still shocking the two of you. So how was your Saturday?
Saturday? You mean the whole weekend?
Aww.
Started on Friday night. And it hasn't ended yet. I'm on sabbatical. I just came to the studio. I'm going back.
Hey, wait, I wanted to ask you a question, but I think I'll ask that after the studio. There's one question there's a question that comes to mind, but I'll ask it afterwards. So what did you guys do Friday?
Friday, like I said, we're going to be spending a lot of alone time. So Friday we're just gisting. My father calls it teta. Is it tete-a-tete or tete-a-tete? Something like that. Just gisting, talking. I woke up to a beautiful, beautiful message on Saturday morning. It warmed my heart. We went exercising because both of us are putting on a lot of weight. They call it dating weight, eating out a lot and all of that. And I did get some bad news actually on Saturday. It sort of sold the weekend a little for me, but I've moved on from that.
This is just getting very boring. What was the highlight of Saturday?
You see, you people are the reason why Valentine has become so commercial that a dinner for two will cost 25,000.
Yeah.
Why? Is it the head of a human being that they're serving? How much is a whole cow?
All right, let me jump to Uwa, just in case how she has more interesting story. I'm very disappointed with Jumoke's story. Yes, what happened?
Unfortunately, I turned Jumoke's account. I moved it from blue to red.
She didn't let me finish the gist.
Wait now, let me help you finish the gist. Her account is in red now because she wanted to get a Valentine gift. For that special someone. I hope you appreciate it.
Yes. Who are waking me up nicely, very nicely.
That's nice.
My Valentine was fun. We had fun all through the night, and you know those kind of things that you don't say on air. Those are the kind of things that we do.
That's all right.
And we know that every day is Valentine in our own house.
That's all right.
No, okay, let me come to
I thought you were going to skip me.
How
like I told you guys, I spent my Valentine working, not because there weren't really people asking me out on dates and stuff, but I feel Valentine is special, and I don't want to spend it with someone that is like, let me just go, so it will be I went out. You know, if I don't feel attracted to you, there is no need spending Valentine with you. So I just decided to make money instead, which I did.
Morayo, please.
Interesting.
Valentine continues today. Side chick association, anonymous. We're having meeting today. And then the guys who have also been friend zoned. In case you didn't see your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband on Saturday, come to our meeting today. We need to solve this problem.
Okay.
Send Valentine.
Okay. Oh, we didn't invite our Mr. Kayode Oguda. Let me see. He's with us. He's actually a social commentator and political analyst. You're joining us on the show today.
Yes.
First time. Welcome to the morning. So we said gisting. Forgot that you were there. How was your Valentine? I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, a good time. We spent the day. Myself and my friend and lots of pro-democracy activists at the Freedom Square. You know, spreading the love of democracy. You know. Now I know how President Goodluck Jonathan feels with those 5 women Obasanjo mentioned, you know.
Okay, we'll come to that. Let's take a quick break. You didn't ask me my own Valentine.
So what happened?
Nothing. we were just on our bed all through the day, just gisting and talking, nothing. Just for the first Valentine. There was nothing, no gifts, no exchange, just
But why didn't you buy him something?
I beg you.
You're not a nice lady.
Then just for his friends to not call at 7 p.m. Are you home?
We're going for dinner.
Now came to my house. Then I gisted. In fact, one of them had a serious question on you. I love Jumoke. Married man. My wife even knows I love Jumoke, so I'm like, okay. Like, all right. You know, but because Kiana has looking for drinks and chicken and everything, I'm not watching 3 married men gisting. I'm just like, hey, it's not Valentine. I wonder what their wives are wondering. The husband is around 7 p.m. Till 10 o'clock, the house gisting. I was like,
But they had a little fight in their wives.
That I think that we've over-commercialized it. As far as your loved one is there for you, it's all right.
Okay, all right, let's end on that note. We'll take a quick break. When we return, We'll go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I apologize. Somebody very elected will just enter the studio, so we're so excited. Anyway, let's start with The Nation. APC accuses PDP of secret push to install interim government. PDP disowns anti-polls leaflets. Air Force tests its new tools in Lagos. And let's see. I think that's the two major stories here. This, okay, you know what? The issue of this...
why is Air Force testing new tools in Lagos? Why didn't they move to Sambisa to test it?
No, they said they have to first train their personnel.
In
Lagos. Know how to use the equipment before they now go to the northeast. I said, well, Lagos.
Like Air Force school here.
Yeah, we do actually have a base. We have a base. We have an Air Force base. Yes, we have an Air Force base. Very close to the airport.
Because I know where the Defense Academy in Kaduna is. That's enough better ground for them to test.
But let's talk about this. APC accuses PDP of secret interim government. What are your thoughts on this, Kayode?
Well, everyone is accusing each other about installing interim government. First, it was Obasanjo that accused President Jonathan of trying to reinstall himself.
We'll talk about the Obasanjo thing with all over papers. Yeah. I want you to tell me this thing about interim government. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it? Is it possible? Because there's no smoke without fire. Yeah. Although the president has said, listen, there's no plan like that. But people are saying it all over. APC is saying
all over social media.
All over social media, this interim government. What are your thoughts? Would it happen? And if it does happen, what does that mean?
Yeah, we didn't have a presidential election on the 14th of February, so we're now going to have it in March. If we don't have it March 28th, we're treading a very dangerous ground, because we'll then technically have to fall into this government extending its rule by every 6 months.
Wow.
And because of the crisis that might come out of that, there will be a push for an interim national government. Wow. And it's not, the fears by the opposition party is quite founded, because elements within the Jonathan administration have been telling us that they would rather have an interim national government. In fact, an aide to Donyo Kukwe said they would rather hand over to the military than hand it over to General Buhari if he wins the election. Wow. So I think those fears are quite legitimate.
Wow. And shouldn't we trust the president when he says, listen, there's nothing like this in the pipeline?
Well, like you rightly said, there's no smoke without fire. Because I read on social media over the weekend, I read about this interim government. They are even proposing, what's his name, Babangida, to be the interim president. And yes, there's a lot of speculations in the air. So whatever it is, you know, we've seen continuously over time our leaders say one thing, they do the other thing. So I mean, there's no way that I say I'm totally 100% confident that it's not going to happen, because we've seen them say things that they don't mean.
Because a lot of speculation have been on this, oh, they're going to move, they're not going to move. And actually, they did move. So people are saying that these rumors, they're rumors, but eventually they become fact. Yeah. So hopefully, well, let's keep watching. Moving on to Vanguard. Major headline: Obasanjo wants to run my government, says Jonathan. It says that the reason ex-president is attacking him. PDP pulls back plans to sanction Obasanjo. Northern governor chides him over attack on Jonathan. And the Bayelsa auto tragedy. I think there were 11 people involved in that accident. Only one survived. One of they're all women leaders. Government declares 3-day mourning in honor of SSG's wife and other dignitaries that died. Female suicide bomber kills 10 in Damaturu. All right, as I said, the Obasanjo is all over the papers.
Should we talk about that?
Let's talk about the Bayelsa auto crash. That was a really, really sad incident. Anybody wants to give us the story?
The
SSG's
Women for Change Initiative? Is that
Women for Change Initiative?
Yes. And PDP members, you know, in Bayelsa, they went to welcome the president's wife.
Yes, President Jonathan.
And on their return, they had the fatal accident. And the wife of the secretary to the state government was one of the victims in the car accident.
Picture is actually there now.
Yeah.
She lost her life. Quite others. 2 died after injuries. The others were burnt.
But really, what happened? Was it that they were on high speed, or what was the
had a
story
tire
behind?
bust. I can't. That was what I read.
Bust?
A tire bust. One of the, and they're on 3. They were in a convoy, 3 vehicles. I don't have the exact details. I didn't read the entire article, but just know.
Because we know all these convoy things, the way they drive, especially when the siren is on and all that. They drive very,
wayward,
very carelessly. So please, everybody should be careful. And we know that we don't have good roads in our country.
I think we wouldn't be able to speculate as to the reason why this accident did happen because we were not there. But it's sad that it did happen. But that is to say that we're getting to hear about this because they're quite prominent. They are very close to the
all the time.
But every day in this country, we lose a huge number of our population to road accidents, and that puts a story to the state of our roads and even the cars that we put on the road.
All right, moving on to Son. Obasanjo under fire. You are playing God, PDP tells ex-president. He's Nigeria's #1 enemy #1, says Fayose. He should leave Jonathan alone, behave like a statesman, says ex-minister. Black Sunday in Yobe. Jonathan angry over disparaging comments against military. Military has decimated Boko Haram, says Air Chief. All right, let's focus on Obasanjo for a second now. Abba is speaking again. Over the weekend, he said that Jonathan would want to become president by all means necessary. I think I'm not sure the exact words he used. Now, we're now getting various responses. Let me come to Kayode first. Let's hear your views on this matter first.
Look, people know my views on General Olusegun Obasanjo. He threw me in jail, as a civilian president. So, and I see that the real cause to our problem now that we have now in the last 6-7 years, or before then, was caused by Obasanjo. The fact that he handpicked a Sikh Yaradua and a not so intelligent Jonathan, pardon me to say that on this program, is where we are today. He sort of just overnight played Lord over Nigerians within his own ruling PDP. And now he's having a change of heart. That's good. We should separate the message from the messenger.
I heard that in the radio
because he has seen the light.
Because, well, Nigerians should be very, very careful. I think Nigerians should be the one to decide the fate of this country. It shouldn't be because a former president is telling them this and that. Nigerians have done quite well when this election was postponed. They didn't go on the streets. They're going to get their PVC, they're going to go into the polling booth and vote for whoever they think is
mention something that struck me right now. That Obasanjo caused whatever it is in the last 6 years. Now, yes, he handed over to Yaradua, who eventually died. But when President Jonathan came on, what we heard there was that, okay, I'll only use 1 term, I'll finish up the term, I'll only use 1 term, and I'll leave. Because the truth is that it was North's turn, according to their agreement with the PDP, was that they agreed to hand over to the North. Now, this problem happened, they did not hand over to the North. Can we necessarily say it was Obasanjo that caused that?
Yeah, whatever arrangement that happened within the PDP or the APC or any of the political parties is not an agreement. It's not an agreement that is binding on the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are free to choose if the man comes from Zungeri or Akwa Ibom, they're free. So they shouldn't.
Well, for me,
let me come to something. You're going to say something about this matter because Fayose is saying that he's enemy #1, Obasanjo is enemy #1.
What of the president's reply?
Yes, saying that he wants to take over the government. Do you believe that, Nancy? Did you read that?
I didn't really read everything, but then I do have my different views about Obasanjo, President Jonathan clash that has been going on for a very long time. I have every reason to believe that this thing goes beyond rulership. It has a lot to do with Alamesia. That is just my own opinion.
Okay, let's back to the article.
I'm just saying it's my perception.
President Jonathan responded and said that he doesn't want to be distracted. Yes, that ex-president Obasanjo just wants to rule through whoever is in power. That he doesn't mind installing the devil as president, as far as he's in control.
Let me pause you with that. If that is true, if Obasanjo is now somewhat supporting Buhari, do you think an Obasanjo can control Buhari?
I don't think so.
So if you're saying that he wants to run the presidency from the Otafam, okay, he wants Jonathan to go away, can he really actually?
I think for me, in all fairness to Obasanjo, he's human, except you want to tell me that he's a god. There was no way he would have been able to read through the mind of President Jonathan to say, okay, this person, what he says is not what exactly he's going to do. Yes, it's not sacrosanct, because that's the word that's been all over the papers. You know, the truth is that Obasanjo, of course, he must have aided all the putting him into presidency with the hope that he was going to stick to the plan. We've had presidents before that did just one term and they walked away. So, I mean, for me, the honorable thing that our president is supposed to do is supposed to stick to whatever it is that he has said.
Let me go to one second, Sanzi, I'll come to you because I want to go back to the real issue here. What Obasanjo is saying that he's like President Gbagbo. Right? The Ivory Coast. How do you agree with him or do you disagree?
The first thing I need to point out is that one of the very good things about this crisis is that a lot of things are coming out. The PDP came out with a release through Fani Kayode that the elections, the emergence of Obasanjo was fraught with rigging, that he wasn't democratically elected in his 2 elections. So that put right to what the oppositions have been saying, that there had been a lot of rigging in this country. So if we didn't have this crisis, we wouldn't hear about that. There were quite salient points that General Obasanjo did raise. The issue about the president keeping assassins, the issue about arming people in the Niger Delta and hoping that he's going to hold the country to ransom if he's not re-elected. And he's quite clear about the Gbagbo issue. If this presidency failed to yield to the people by giving us the right to vote and trying to reinstall themselves, we might have a crisis. Not just a Gbagbo situation, but a Burkina Faso situation in this country.
We need to move on because we can't spend so much time on it. But the general idea is that we have to be watchful. We have to hear what's going on.
I'm just loving all the things that are unveiling.
Yes. So, The Guardian, major headline here: Obasanjo Jonathan feud gets messier. President may soon expose ex-head of state alleged personal demands. Says PDP, ruling party's candidate likely to win. U.S. envoy predicts. Really? All right. Female suicide bomber kills self, 8 others in Yobe. Don't close schools for polls, Nance urge government. NBC cautions broadcast stations against inciting jingles. You can see the picture here of my darling Pastor Itwa, Dr. Odumaki, Aisha Falode, mother of the late Toba, and others at the 1-year Thanksgiving service for the boy allegedly murdered in Dubai.
That's Mrs. Odumaki. What does she do exactly?
She's the Women Arise now, President Women Arise.
We always see her everywhere.
Yeah, she's Women
Any
Arise.
protest, she's always
she's fighting for our battles.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
That we know.
You think so?
Well, what I see that she's fighting. What happens at the back?
Go to the social media on Facebook and see the picture that they have posted there about her and her husband. Now, for me,
32
you
million.
social media matter.
No, but that's the way. That is the way to the future. Social media.
32 million.
They have empowered people. You're just speaking anyhow.
32 million.
All right, Mama. Well, it's not proven. We don't know it for a fact.
That what? That they didn't collect 32 million. Did they not go to conference?
National conference.
Did they not go to conference? Husband and wife.
Yeah, I didn't know that I went to
husband and wife, 32 million.
Only one that went to conference. What are you talking about? Please, let's take a quick break. Any matter on this, any issue on this matter? No, let's move on. When we return, the NLC Saga. Do you remember that fight they had? They cannot conduct election. We're going to discuss that because it's pretty hot because we've had a situation whereby the AGF, they couldn't conduct a proper election. So what exactly is the issue with Nigerians? Why can't we conduct a free and fair election?
Nigeria.
Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We still have Mr. Kayode Ogundamisi with us. So, the National Delegates Conference of the Nigeria Labour Congress ended in crisis last week Thursday as participants failed to elect a new president to succeed Abdul Wahid Umar. During the election, some discrepancies were observed in the ballot papers which led to allegations that resulted to the throwing of chairs, fist fights, destroying of the ballot boxes, something we are really familiar with in this area. How can the NLC, known as the pressure group to checkmate issues in the country, when their own house is not in order. It's your view, let it count. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You could tweet to us at YOURVIEW TVC. All right.
I have a question that I'd like to direct to him. Now, 2013, the Nigerian Governors Forum, 35 members, they had an election to pick a leader. In fact, that forum has scattered since then because 16 became more than 19. NLC, 5,000 delegates to pick one leader is scattered.
What's up, Ekiti? Ekiti, where the house.
Seven members.
Was able to
impeach speaker.
So the numbers are always, what exactly?
Well, the first thing is that, you know, the state of education in Nigeria is not something you can write home about, and mathematics is becoming a huge issue, you know. So counting numbers is not only a problem students have in schools. Politicians now have a problem with counting. In Lagos, the Lagos PDP primaries with Koro and they had a problem with counting the number of delegates and votes, and then the PDP 19. So I think it's a national issue that we have to look at. Maybe it's a problem with arithmetics, but beyond that, I think with the more pressure groups become fertile grounds where there's a lot of resources that are pumped into it.
Pause. That's word right there. Because it's a serious fertile ground. This is all about money. Has nothing to do with leadership. They're about who can do it, who cannot do it. It's about money. Let me give you a quick example.
When we were in the students' movement, during our days, we were in the pro-democracy movement, you would go to jail for fighting for the country. So not a lot of people want to be student activists. In fact, people will say, my mom had said, don't become a student activist too, because we had to go to Sokoto sometimes for old meetings in mosque. With the military will be chasing us all over the place. But with the advent of democracy, NAN's leadership would meet with the president. There's a budget in the presidency. The labor movement would also meet with the presidency. There's negotiations during the oil subsidy crisis. There was a lot of fertile Ghana must go bags for the pressure group. So crisis would emerge for leadership tussle. It's the same in the national election.
Democracy. I don't think.
Yes, now.
The working for me is liberalism.
I don't think it's democracy. This thing is about individuality. It's about what your it's about what your principles are, what you stand for. If you stand for corruption, of course, it is only corruption that will be feeding you all the time.
So is it everybody in Nigeria now that is corrupt, from students' body?
Of course,
I think it applies to every other angle, because I think generally in Nigeria we're corruption prone, because it's not just the NLC. Even as way back as student union governments, when they're holding elections, you see different fights just for votes.
Even in the churches, to elect
the new chairman.
Of course, the new GO. So it is. That's why I'm saying that it's beyond democracy. It's gone. You know, I mean, into our bloodstream. You know, so we have to really flush it out.
Who are the we? Nigerians.
Everybody. I'm not excluding.
No, Nigerians or black people in general.
Myself. In short, black people. It's not only Nigerians. You know, but for me, I want to go back to NLC, because I was wondering, like, okay, how visible has NLC been since Occupy Nigeria?
2012.
Even before then.
Even before then.
True.
You know, so I wonder that, okay, we've not really heard anything about this new NLC chairman.
Because even
outside Adams or Shomole, I think that is the only person that I really saw that struggled.
Yes.
You know, that is what I
wanted to say concerning that Occupy, it wasn't necessarily an NLC project. Yeah. The people stood out, and because it wasn't about, because women
hijacked it.
Yeah, of course they hijacked it.
NLC hijacked it.
It wasn't necessarily an NLC initiative.
Us out.
Well, we don't know about the selling.
Yes.
We don't know about the selling out.
That's our belief.
No, that they negotiated.
They were the ones who told us to go back home and come back on Monday, only for us to see military on the streets over the weekend.
That's a different issue. Let's not go for that.
I think I wrote my dissertation on the labor movement, and to me, you mentioned Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. I would disagree a bit slightly that the last time we had a strong, committed president of the NLC was Sumonu. Alhaji Adefunmilayo. Those were those days.
Never heard of him.
When people stood, and irrespective, they were not interested in politics, they were interested in the people. And yes, Comrade Oshomole played a quite important role in the labor movement. But in terms of courageous leadership, unbending leadership, in the mode of real leadership, Sumono, I've forgotten one of the founding fathers of the NLC. With the Occupy Nigeria thing, I think it was a people's movement, but immediately the labor movement, it's not just the NLC, the TUC, you know, went into negotiations on behalf of the people, and the leadership of the Occupy movement was literally conceded to that movement, and that's why it failed.
Mario, I brought up the mission statement for this Nigerian Labour Congress. I went online to go and search. They said the mission of Nigerian Labour Congress is to organize, unionize, and mobilize all categories of Nigerian workers, defend and advance the political, economic, social, and cultural rights of Nigerian workers, emancipate and unite Nigerian workers, and people from all forms of exploitation and discrimination, achieve gender justice in workplace and in NLC, strengthen and deepen.
Mission or theory?
Yeah, mission statement. Strengthen and deepen the ties and connection between Nigerian workers and mutual natural allies in and outside Nigeria, and lead the struggle for the transformation of Nigeria into a just, humane, and democratic society.
Have they been doing that?
I have not seen anything that has a semblance of this big grammar that they have put in front of the
humane. That behavior last because
it's not even humane.
Can't even define
Now, let me tell you what that behavior is. You know, in is it mathematics now? They said the aggregate of a subset usually has the qualities of the set.
Yes.
Now, what you see in the Nigerian Labour Congress is a reflection of what Nigeria is.
Yes, sounds you're going to do something.
There's really nothing.
Let me take this call first. Good morning, Shola. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still on.
Morning,
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I just want to make a report first of all. At times, your station will go for maybe like 2-3 days, and will not have access to you. Please, I would like you to tell maybe the people in the technical aspect of your station to see maybe there's anything they can do on that. Okay. Then, pertaining to your topic today.
Yes.
There are lots of things wrong with Nigerian situation, and Nigeria cannot be trusted. The Nigerian government, there are so many things wrong, and I think we, the Nigerian masses, we have lots of things in our hands to work on, but we don't know our rights, and we don't know how to work on it.
All right, thank you so much. Let's take some tweets, please.
Okay. It's more on Joe Dumaki. Okay, Team General Brown says, NLC election problem show that only APC can conduct a free and fair election in this country from their primary result. Okay, no, he has a good point, at least from the primaries that they conducted. But further we see Olaoluwa says, the only natural disaster we have in this country is bad leadership. These corps are very selfish, self-serving individuals. So I think that's about it too.
All right.
What do you think? I definitely think it's about time we bring out a revolution in our different offices. This NLC, they are on top and they are managing affairs like you read out their what is it? Their mission statement, unifying and avoiding exploitation. And so far, they've not been showing out stuff like this. If you're going to occupy a position of power, it's not just them, even National Assembly. It's not the first time there's a disagreement and they start throwing chairs and ballot boxes and everything of which, why are you carrying out your aggression on the ballot boxes and the chairs? That is why you are educated. When you're educated, you communicate. That's what you do. You talk to people, settle issues out.
Let me take Said's call. Good morning, Said. Are you there?
Well, I'm still there. Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Sir, I would like to make my contribution on this. Like, Nigeria is a very peaceful country. We are very lovely. Yeah. If you walk out on the street, you will see beautiful people, beautiful men out there on the street. But it's unfortunate on what we are seeing today on our leader. But this is what I will just say about Obasanjo and Jonathan. It takes a very long while for someone to trust someone. So Obasanjo trusted Jonathan. Yeah. But Jonathan betrayed him based on their fictive relationship. So Obasanjo had no choice You want to reclaim me because I put you there, I trusted you. So you were just trying to play smart by creating another campus.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. We don't know that for a fact.
It's a solution I'm trying to bring out for you now. Where you're working as your position in the company, sorry, do they pay for your food? Do they pay for your everything?
Allowances.
You see, the cost of governance in this country is too much. Why you see a lot of people, the estate have not even moved into. They're already quarreling over who is chairman, who is this, who is that, because they know that in Nigeria, as soon as you occupy a particular position,
your money,
you have a lot of control over money. Okay. If we can reduce that cost of governance, I'm sure that it will not be this dramatic.
I just want Nigerians not to fall into this trap of the ruling class defining the debate, discussing Obasanjo and Jonathan's personal issues. We should be talking about the quality of life. Is your life better 4 years after the last government? Quality education, good growth. So let us, the more they try to divert our attention, let us go back and focus on those
Thank
issues.
you so much, Kayode. Appreciate you being here. When we return, why are women not pulling enough weight, or are they pulling enough weight in the polity? We have our guest here in the studio to discuss that with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Women constitute about 51% of Nigeria's population and are playing vital roles in the social reproduction of the society. In spite of this, society has not totally accorded them a enabling political atmosphere to actively participate in decision-making relative to their male counterparts. Why are women not in the core? When I say core, there's a meeting after the meeting, there's a meeting for the meeting, decision-making in politics. Joining us to shed more light on this is a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Adefunmilayo Tejuosho. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So good to have you.
Nice to be
here. And you actually look prettier in person than on television. Thank
you. Thank you.
So, we know now, it's 2015, election year, people are trying to get into office, and we're hoping to see more women out there. I know some women have tried, but either they're not pushed or they're not encouraged. They felt that maybe the party leaders feel like, okay, maybe the men should go ahead of them instead of the women. Or we find that the women are being used as the deputy governors or the assistants or the PA or the speaker or something. Those kind of things. That's where we find women. Why is it so? And how do you or do we plan to change it in Lagos State?
Well, I think that in Lagos State, you know, we're getting there. I mean, we demand more, but we're getting there. We have to appreciate our leaders in my party, the APC, you know, very sensitive to the needs of women. But, you know, we have to continue to fight as a unit of women, because sometimes women are actually the worst enemies of other women. And that also doesn't help people. But we see where, you know, the APC, before ACN, AD, we were told not to pay for our forms to run for elections. You know, they tried as much as possible, the party, to make it easier for women to get involved. But the problem we have in the society is the problem of poverty and violence. You know, because as a woman, when you go, you know, to campaign, when you're trying to, you know, talk to the people, your opposition tries to scare you back into your house. You know, they send area boys to harass you. You know, they sometimes it's just not comfortable enough for the woman. But then we have a saying that if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And when you say kitchen, we normally associate that with women. So if a woman can stand the heat of the kitchen, she must be able to stand the heat of elections and so on and so forth. It is not easy. You know, you have to take care of your husband, you have to take care of your children, you have to take care of your home.
How have you stood the heat? Because you've gone
way
high.
You see, the thing about politics is that there's the good, there's the bad, and the ugly. And you must be ready to, you know, overcome every single aspect of it. You don't get carried away with the good. You don't get drowned with the ugly. You don't get drowned with the bad.
Okay.
Or taken away, carried away with the bad. So what you just try to do is keep your head above water and make sure that you're focused. As a woman, there's a lot of distraction. There's sexual harassment. There's intimidation. There are many things going out there. But for a woman to excel, you must not compromise. You must believe in yourself. Your husband or your spouse must believe in you. And your children must understand why you are there. As long as you communicate with your home, then you manage your home very well. You are able to do things outside. I remember when I was in Queen's College, you know, my secondary school, and there was a teacher that before she got married, she was really, really nice and sweet, and everybody wanted to take her class. But as soon as she got married, there was some form of abuse. We did not know. But every time she came to class and she was cranky, we'll make this little joke that, oh, her husband probably beat her this morning. But to us, it was a joke. We were young. We were 13 years old, 14, some 12, 10. And it was funny. But later on, when I did my NYSC, and I met the lady later on, she explained to me that, you know, she went through a little bit of that domestic violence, but could not communicate with people. And then, you know, I started to understand that as a woman, you go through a lot. But people probably don't understand what you are going through.
Now, let me come to this angle. We've seen a lot of women leaders from your party, and I must say that they've been able to hold their own. Because we've seen Kemi Nelson's been here, we've been Abike. You see quite a number of them, and they're all well-spoken and they're educated, and you can see that they want to give their all.
Yes.
How come we've not been able to get as many women to replicate these kind of women? Because we've seen them, but there are so many of them. Because we still see the other ones are just there, they're like almost empty.
Sorry, let me add to your question, because what we see now is that we see a lot of women, but we don't see competence, you know? We don't see substance in whatever it is. Like, for instance now, the people that are coming out for presidency and all that, we have not really felt that this woman is truly ready, like she's, you know, the way her male counterparts are doing. You know, so where is the place of competence in whatever it is that you're doing? I feel
that the environment has to be ready to accommodate a woman. A woman of substance, an intelligent woman, is not going to go there to fail. You must test the waters and see if the people are indeed ready for a woman.
Wow.
You must know what you are doing. Yes, because you have to be intelligent for you to go out there. You are not just going to go there to fail because you want to encourage other women. You go there to make sure that you excel, you succeed, you're victorious. And for you to be able to do that, you must survey the terrain and see if they're ready for you. If you look at America, for example, Hillary Clinton has been trying for a long time to become president of the United States of America. She has not been successful. You know, they were even good enough to put a black man before a woman, which we see that even over there, they tilt more towards the men than the women. But over there, there's a keen competition. You know, I tell a lot of young girls that I mentor that a lot of times we say, what a woman can do, a man can do better. What a woman can do. I'm tired of hearing that. And that we should key into the fact that what a woman cannot do can never be done. We should key into the fact that we must, you know, train ourselves in our mind of who we are, what we want to be, how we want to portray ourselves, and that gives you that edge over the men. And also, with the issue of a woman becoming president, or a woman becoming governor, or a woman becoming anything top like a speaker or what have you, we must be ready. And I believe that now the women are ready. But they have not put themselves out for elections.
There's a lady here in APC, Mrs. Tokumbo, I can't remember her name. She also ran for governorship in Lagos State. And she was looking for support. I'm trying to remember her surname. You know, she tried to push her, but did she get that kind of support that
you see, let me explain something to you. When you put yourself out that you want to run for elections, you must also touch those of us that are already there.
Thank you.
I never met her.
Okay.
And I feel that, you know, you have to provide a forum where you can talk with other women. Let us give you our own experience, no matter and support, no matter
because
how
the
small.
Women are 51% of the population.
Exactly. So we must reach out to other women.
And feel your pulse.
And feel the pulse of the women.
Yes,
and those are the things. Men, when they want to do anything, they don't come to the women stricto sensu. They go to their peers and talk with them, get that support and go out there. So we need to start working as a unit. That is why when you look in South Africa, the black people there worked as a unit to get out of that apartheid situation. And we as women, let me just not restrict just to black women, we must work as a unit to get out of this stereotype that we have to deputize.
Fantastic. I have to take a quick break now. When we return, more questions for Honorable. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, let's start with Sanzi. Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, so you are, of course, a prominent woman occupying a powerful position in the House of Assembly under the party APC. Now, I'm asking you this question particularly because I want to understand APC's plan for women in government. Presently, the government right now is offering, according to what they're saying, 35% positions for women. Yeah. Now, does APC have plans to counter that ratio? Because as far as I'm concerned, 35% is not enough. It's either 50-50 or nothing.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Well, I see that, let me talk for Lagos State, for example, because that's where I've represented for a while. And I see that apart from those positions, elective positions or appointments, you see that there are a lot more female judges, there are a lot more female permanent secretaries, there are a lot more female excelling in positions of authority. I believe that the APC-led government of Lagos State has actually, tilted to support women more so that we can excel, because we appreciate the fact that we've had the short end of the stick for a very long time. But of course, we're asking for more, because we know that we can do better. We know that there's nothing the men are doing that the women cannot do. We're just as educated as the men. We have our masters, some have PhDs, some, yes. And wherever you put a woman in position, she has so much to prove that she puts in extra effort to prove that she can do it. And when I got into the House of Assembly in 2003, I was the only woman out of 40 members in 2003. It was tough. That was when I actually passed the law on domestic violence, and that was even tougher because you are one woman talking about domestic violence. They look at you as if you are talking that it's a gender thing, not knowing that it is not gender based. But after I was able I started up as Deputy Chief Whip. That was the last position, Principal Officer position. But I handled it. And from there, I became Deputy Speaker. But there are challenges galore. Because as a woman, but because I was able to hold my own, after that we became 2 women, then we became 5 women, then we're now 7 women. So obviously, I did something right to encourage other women to come on board. But it's not easy.
Hassan, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Please go ahead.
And Sandy and the honorable member of Lagos State House of Assembly. The issue of woman participation in politics should be a matter of choice, not a matter of a kind of protest or a kind of propaganda. In the sense that what I see in this issue, people go for more of quota system than competence. And women, when you look at Nigeria very well, women are fully in charge right from independence. Women are the ones influencing men in their bedroom. In the morning, a man will come and implement what his wife told him in the bedroom. And now, what I'm seeing in Nigerian women is confrontation. It's fully confrontation. When somebody is telling you to give me certain percentage, you are looking at it as a quota system. You are not looking at it as democracy, where people have the right to choose. You are looking at it from the angle of the position. Women are in charge. You cannot choose your cake and have it.
Thank you so much. One second, let me throw this out. Do you agree?
Well, what he's saying, he's making a bit of sense with what he's saying. I'm not against what he's saying in entirety. I always say that we need that affirmative action, but we need to use it for competence, not just because I'm a woman. So there are two different issues. There are very competent women that try, but because they're women, they don't give them the opportunity. Yeah. So in that aspect, that affirmative action would help them because it will help them to say, this woman, she's educated, she knows what she's doing, she's willing and capable to make a difference. Then it works for her. But not just because we have to have 35% women, then you just pick all the women that you think you can control and put them in. So it's debatable.
Yes, right.
We feel, if you look at South Africa,
if we have like 50% competent women, I mean, the 35% available space, is it not shortchanging us?
It is. But you see, when they say 35%, they're saying a minimum. At least just to make sure that, you know, some people don't accommodate women at all. Okay. Yeah. And we need that 35% for us to understand that, you know, this constitutional representation it can be a good thing. Yeah. Because if you look at South Africa, it is important to them because they've realized what they've been through and they realize the need to be able to balance those things. We need to do that as well.
While we're on the tweets, let me come to Jumoke.
But based on merit.
Now, Mrs. Kemi Nelson came here and said that the lady vying for governorship in Lagos, she had never met her, although the lady said that she had sent her a letter or something. You have also come to the answer that you have never met this lady. Now, if a woman who is competent, because competence is number one, not gender, wants to go into politics, what does she need to do?
Okay, there are several things you need to do. First of all, you have to identify your terrain. Who are the people already in positions of authority? Okay. Because, you know, I won't want to use that mentoring word, but you need some people that are experienced that can tell you, that can tell you how to go about it, what you need to do, how you need to do it. Now, first you identify those women. There are 7 members of House of Assembly that are female. Identify those 7 women. You don't have to know our houses. Come to the House of Assembly and demand that you want, even people that are of very low status, come to us and demand they want to see us. And we have to see them because that is why we're there. True. So talk less of somebody that is running for governor as a woman. You demand to see your representatives. Because we're representing you in the House of Assembly. We're not just the voice of the people of our constituency, we're the voice of the women in Lagos State. You demand to see us. You see the commissioners that are women. You see the SAs that are women. You see the deputy governor. You see the women leader of APC. Yes, we have forums that we dialogue often. The deputy governor, you know, has a quarterly interactive session with the women that are in positions of authority in Lagos State, elective appointments. Then we have a secretariat, Acme Road, where, you know, the woman leader, now Mrs. Kemi Nelson, has an office. She has staff. She has a deputy woman leader where you can go. If she's not there, her deputy is there, and you can talk to them and ask for time with these people. Let me see some tweets. I don't want to, so there's a lot that you need to do. You know, and you see, we have to remember something. My leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says this thing, that power is not served a la carte. Nobody is going to give you anything for free. Even in Freetown, nothing is free anymore. So why should we now be demanding that, you know, you want to pick you from home? I should come and meet you because you want to run for governor. You must prove to me that you know your onions, and then I would support you in every way.
Let's say something.
I like that.
Please, I need to give a round of applause.
I have to say something. No, you got to find. I have something I must say. Yes. I have noticed that a lot of women leaders, especially under your party, they're not too loud. I've seen all of you. I've seen even Tinubu's wife, Mrs. Remy, the Kemi Nelson, you guys are conservative. You don't see this too much makeup, loudness. Is that a tactic to get us to understand how serious you are, or is that just your personality?
I think it's just our personality. I don't think it has anything to do with you know, trying to look serious or what have you. I feel that it's the upbringing as well. My mom will tell you that your appearance is your letter of recommendation. Sometimes you forget your IV at home. And if you look good, they will let you in anyway, that this person must have been invited. But when you look tacky, when you look OTT, like my children will say, over the top, then you look ridiculous, you know, because you don't have to, you know, my sons will tell you that less is more. True. My daughter will tell you that don't be OTT, mom. So when the way you communicate with your growing children, or the way you have been communicated to, lets you know what you should be. So it's not, and I believe that maybe that is what the APC see in us, that they continue to support us, that we are not
so
over
you know
the top.
use their money to go and buy, hold on, you know use their money to go and buy 5 million diamond.
Even we've won, but the Brazilian. I gotta go.
Sorry, one last week.
I gotta go. Sorry. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank
we have
you.
to bring you back. I think we actually had a good conversation.
We really love you.
So we'd like to
I
have you
enjoyed
back because we want to
myself
aspire to be like you.
Yes, I'm available.
So anytime you come around. All right. Don't forget to watch a repeat broadcast at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch previous episodes by going to YouTube/TV Entertainment and search for Your View. Your vote is your right. Don't waste it. Use it wisely. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.